back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about glute growth and specifically glute roundness. One of my goals for my improvement season is to grow bigger, rounder glutes. So one thing you definitely need when you're growing your glutes is a slight caloric surplus, because in order to put on some muscle, you have to have the calories to supply muscle growth. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feed the booties. Okay. I just want to share a couple exercises that I find have helped me grow and shape my glutes. I actually have a really hard time with that mind-muscle connection when it comes to activating my glutes, and actually a lot of people in general have this issue. I picked my top 6 exercises for glute growth, and I've seen the most glute development lately, especially within this last month. So we already mentioned eating in a caloric surplus. My next tip is going to be train your legs twice a week. It's okay to hit legs more than once a week. I know that it can be really tiring working out your legs because it's such a big muscle group. It's literally like half your body, but it's okay to train them twice a week. Whenever you train your legs, it's almost like a cardio workout because you're using so much muscle, and it really elevates your heart rate doing these compound movements. Okay guys, so I'm going to talk you through my workout today. The number 1 exercise when growing glutes and growing legs, but especially booty, is the back squat. And I see people go too light on these. That's an issue, or people who go way too heavy. The main thing you want to think of here is form. You want your form to be clean. You want to at least hit parallel, but the deeper you go in your squat, the more you'll feel it in your glutes and your hamstrings, and that's what we want. So try to squat slightly below parallel if you have the mobility to do that. If not, you can just go to parallel and you should be good. However, just note that you will get more glute growth if you can drop your booty down a little bit lower in your squat. I did do, I think, like 5 sets of squats here. I like to focus mostly on my squat because I think that that's the ultimate exercise for legs. It's just a barbell back squat. But I did 5 sets of 10 reps for my back. The next exercise that is amazing for glute growth is the hip thrust, and specifically a barbell hip thrust. You can do this without weight, and that's fine. However, if you put more weight on, it's going to help build more muscle. So just grab a barbell. You can see that I have one of the little, like, I don't know what those pad things are called, but I put like a little round padded thing around the barbell, and that way it's not going to hurt my hip bones at all whenever I'm thrusting the weight up. And yes, this exercise can look a little bit awkward. Make sure you squeeze your glutes and hold the weight up there for a little bit, and then drop the weight back down slowly. You're going to get the best activation with really hitting that squeeze and then bringing the weight back down. You don't want to just kind of bounce the weight up. And if you bounce the weight up in a hip thrust, it can look kind of weird in general. So slow and controlled movements here, ladies and gentlemen. One other thing that I found has been amazing for my glutes and my hamstrings, but also my glutes, is the GHD machine. So glute hamstring development machine. Some gyms have these, others don't. Mine luckily does, but you want to lift up slowly. You don't want to go past horizontal. Your lower back should be flat, but when I round my shoulders forward, I feel a little bit more in my glutes. You don't want your back to be super like archy, like don't do that, because you're not going to have that same tension on your glutes and your hamstrings. So keep that back neutral like this and lift up slowly, and once again squeeze at the top. Squeeze your booty cheeks together, okay? And you'll feel more activation that way. One other exercise that I've been incorporating when it comes to glute development is the banded squat. What I do is I put the band right around my knees, and the reason why I do this is a lot of women, because of the way our hips are shaped, our knees will track outward when we squat. So when you put the band around your knees, it helps keep your knees in a good, like, normal locked in position. You don't want your knees to go out of line all wacky, and you'll see that a lot when women are squatting. So putting the band around my knees, it helps stabilize my knees, and it also helps me focus on my glutes whenever I'm squatting, because a lot of times I'm focused on my quads, focus on keeping my knees in that good position, not too much like over my heels, or like is this knee like doing some wiggly weird thing. when I put the band around my knees, it stabilizes them, and then I can mentally focus on my glutes, which is the whole purpose of my squatting programming right now, is the booty. So putting the band around has been very helpful. Okay, so everyone knows this exercise, but it's just a cable kickback. Whenever I'm doing more of accessory work like this, not so much compound movement, I will go a little bit lighter and more reps. I did do 3 sets of 20 reps here, and when I push the weight out, I make sure I'm pushing with my heel. So I don't put the handle that I used for the glute kickback, I don't put that by my toes. I put it more like mid-foot towards my heel, and I'll feel it more in my hamstrings and my glutes, and take my quads out of the equation, because once my quads get involved, I don't feel anything in my glutes at all. So put the little round piece more towards your heel or mid-foot, and you should feel it more in your glutes that way. You're going to need a assisted pull-up machine for this exercise, and you're going to actually set the weight a little heavy. I set my weight at about 90 to 110 pounds, depending on how I feel that day. And I also do 4 sets of 15 reps. I do a little bit more sets here, but a little bit lower reps. And if you don't have this machine, you could do like a single. I know this is not the way you're supposed to use this machine, but it's also just a really great tool for your glutes in general. It's literally a straight push down, and that's what I like about it. And I like how controlled I am with the machine, and I can really just focus and dial in on using my glutes. One thing you'll see when I'm doing a glute push down is my toes lift up a little bit. And we talked about this earlier. Whenever my quads kick in, I don't feel it in my glutes. So if I pick my toes up, my heel is on the push down machine, and then only my hamstrings are activated and my glutes, and it will kill your butt, like for sure. So picking your toes up will take your quads out of the equation when you're doing the push down and really help you dial in on using your glutes. Be careful when you're using this machine too and setting the weight back. You don't want your knee to track over your foot when you're like pushing down. So be careful with your knee placement. Make sure you're at a nice horizontal position and then go. You don't want your knee to be like way over your foot and all like nasty like that. Don't do that at all. That's wrong. Alright, so that is it for this video. Those are my top 6 exercises I've been using to help grow and shape my glutes. If any of you guys try this workout or have a couple exercises that you use in your glute development, comment down below and I'd love to hear them and try them out. And also make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it helps support me and makes me very happy, and then I can produce better and more content for you guys. So I hope you all have a great day, and make sure you go out, hit your legs, train them hard, try this workout, and I hope your butt is sore. Bye guys.